Come on, then the next 2 picks.
Yeah, the next 2 picks, I'm done. I've retired from predictions. But
away.
Sona's not there, so Azubu's probably going to take. Okay, here we go. Sona Ezreal.
Yes,
Sona Ezreal.
It's going to be Sona Ezreal.
Yeah. Well, that's an easy one. Unless we fail, then at that point, it's not a good one.
You would assume that's what they will go with. It's Captain Jack, and it's a great poke comp. It's been working so well for Lustboy. That's the one I'm after. Well, in fact, Kane and Prey, they always tend to take Sona away if it's there. But are we going to see a Nunu come out for? I'd be surprised that Najin would go to Nunu. Oh, they're going to take
Nocturne.
They're going to take Nocturne away from Watch.
So in this last one, they've become extremely familiar with each other, even in the context of this last set. They don't need to take Edge, do they? Because they can leave it to last now. Right. So they didn't need to take Edge. They'll probably end up picking Ezreal eventually, but getting Nocturne away from them really just shuts down a lot of what Watch likes to do when they dive, or Najin likes to do when Watch dives in. Seeing as they played each other now 4 times, 6 times in the last 2 days, even though they'd probably scrimmed against each other many times, they're extremely comfortable just counterpicking and knowing what they need to take away from each other. Obviously, Najin took Cho'Gath away from Azubu, so they're just going to take Nocturne away from Watch as well, and they're just going to say, hey, you got to play a new, uncomfortable jungler for yourself. I'm genuinely concerned about Kane now. He doesn't look like a well man right now. Oh, there is Jax. It's going to be Mac Noon on Jax. It's been a key player throughout. This time he's got Malphite to help him out. Those dives could be incredibly strong. Now that's the jump they need, right? It creates with Mac Noon, or sorry, it creates with Watch, and then Mac Noon would follow it up. The big thing for this is they can still pick a Nunu late. They might just be going for the really late game, since all these games do tend to be stretching out on them. They don't want to have no oomph when they get there. Nocturne typically doesn't scale amazingly into the late game, but Jax and Kog'Maw most definitely do. Nunu's a bad matchup against Sona, so it would be a very dangerous pick for them, but Nunu's also great synergy with Kog'Maw. This is going all the way back if we get to Najin Swords picks. Do you think they're going to go Aurelia? I mean, how badly that worked out last time? Wow, okay, they're thinking of a different AD. Always ambition, going to go back Twisted Fate again. It is going to be Captain Jack on Tristana, something he played a lot of before. That's a very interesting choice for them. That might just be going for late game range that they're trying to pull off, because the early mid game from Tristana is nothing spectacular. But that's going to just give Kog'Maw a free farm early game as well. Yeah, so actually I should correct myself. Early game Tristana is good, mid game Tristana is weak. And that's Kog'Maw's weak early and really strong mid-late. So there's going to be those windows back and forth where they want to poke each other. It's just going to be a matter of whether Sona Trist can push down and punish Najin early, because look at the dive they potentially have to get onto Kog'Maw with. They got Nocturne and TF that can just jump straight on them, as well as Trist, who can bunny hop there as well. So in these last 2 picks, they need to make sure that they don't get dove on, which, I mean, they selected Zyra and got me all excited because that would be what would make a lot of sense if they play it. Zyra Kog could be very strong, but we'll see what they end up with. Song played a lot of Rise before as well. It could be Zyra as the support. God, I wish I could channel my inner Korean right now and hear what these guys are saying, because, or more to the point, understand what the hell these guys are saying, because 5 games into this, they know each other so well. They're so versed. They know exactly what each other are going to do. Shy locks in Olaf. That worked out very well from him in game 1. This match is going to offer something new again. And it's crazy how much these guys go back and forth. 5th game of the day. Every composition completely different. Here's what's going to happen. They have TF, Nocturne, Olaf. Everyone's going to be diving on Kog'Maw. This is your classic protect the Cog. It's your classic dive comp as well. But the roles have been switched, because Najin Sword's normally the ones that are diving, and early on it was Azubu who had the Zyra to counter the dive. Swapped around now. Protect the Cog, dive the Cog. Najin versus Azubu. Well, it could be another game. We've had 4 pretty unique matches already. Will the 5th one throw something different in the mix? It's the MLG 4 Championships. It has been a fantastic series. If you're not watching it, if your buddies are not watching it, I would question why. Give them a ring, get them on the stream. It's been pretty epic so far. This one promises to be just as good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again for Game 5 of the series. It's 1-0 to Azubu Blaze, and we are seeing Kane actually standing very, very close in that tri-bush. And are we going to see an invade, Jat? I'll be surprised. We haven't had one yet. They came very close in Game 1, but nothing really major coming over it. Every time they go for it, they trade straight back and forth. Azubu Blaze, though, getting close and aggressive on this one. We've seen invades. We just haven't seen first bloods early on. And that's probably what we're going to see again here. Very obviously, Azubu just brute forces their way into the blue buff. Azubu's going to have to respond to that. They throw a ward down and actually just get out of there. So Sapling's doing their best to scout. They do have to be a little bit careful here. Watch already at half mana. If they do too many Sapling scouts, he's going to have trouble clearing out his jungle, especially with that ward in there. But now, looks like Azubu might just be making their way over to their own blue buff. Again, they really just trade positions. Not much going down level 1. Not much going down level 1 at all. So, we talked about the picks and bans. We've seen what the team comps they've come up with. The mentality between these two teams is got to be to the point of exhaustion right now. They're 5 games in. We're into what? The 5th hour, I think we're into now, maybe, possibly. I'm not too sure. It's been a long day. I mean, the mental exhaustion these guys are going to go through at this stage, the concentration level required as they return to lane is immense. And we are having some funky lanes again. Even the physical exhaustion, as we see Watch take up the blue buff, we saw... Oh, man, actually, Olaf goes in for Watch. And Shy getting hit down a bit. This is a lot of action early. He's got to be careful because McNoon is heading down north. Meanwhile, Lustboy and Captain Jack are catching on towards Song. There's Song forced to go back as well. They do have another invade down the bottom as well. You can see Helios on towards Kane there. He might catch him out. Kane is not going to have the hit points to deal with. This one has to use the exhaust up. They're continuing on. Song also getting caught out. The damage is going to continue through. And the Ambition's coming around. Is it going to be enough to catch out first blood? The Fear Leash is going on. He's dived in, but he's got caught out. The tower's going to finish him off. It's a trade. And that's a dangerous trade because that's the jungler down, and that's going to delay him something chronic. Okay, let's actually try to get through these lanes because, again, they go crazy on us. It's another 2-man mid by Azubu. Sona and Captain Jack are going to try to push this turret down very strong early. And again, they have solo Ambition, Twisted Fate, going to have to deal with 2 members and a blue buff Kog'Maw down in the bottom lane. Again, a 1v1 between McNoon and Shy, but this time, no one's got that early 40 minion kill advantage. We might see something standard there. First blood getting traded. That puts Helios behind Watch. Let's see what happens. Well, Helios has gone Berserker Greaves straight off because he picked up that first blood, which means he's taking down that red buff. He's going to be quick around that jungle, and that is a dangerous start. And honestly, I'd be happy with that exchange, I think. The fact that he picked up the first blood, you can see that Watch is picking out the red buff now. Are they going to try and swim across? You can see that Kane, is going to have to move towards his mid lane. Lustboy is actually going to come across because that ward is giving them the advantage. You can see they're going to try and poke away. He does manage to get some of the gold. McNoon up top, they're diving in towards it, and you can see it's going to be good. Feared flashes away from it. Is it going to be enough? Shy can't dive this one. He has no turrets. Wow, and they are just back and forth trading already. And we can actually see that Kane has left Prey down in the bottom lane to fend for himself with the blue buff, so Ambition is not struggled behind. Kane instead helping Song get farm in the mid lane, trying to protect that turret. They don't want the mid turret falling all that early. Double buff on Watch. The ward is going to catch him looking as he runs up towards Shy. And man, just dead even after that first blood. Crazy, strange lanes that they put themselves in. These teams really know each other well. Well, they've just seen Watch there. They know he's walked in towards wards there, so which means you can see Helios actually sneaking into the bush, and there's McNoon. McNoon dives in. Shy dives in. Shy manages to get the kill on towards McNoon. Now Watch is in trouble. The Fear Leash, he flashes just at the right time, saves that double buff, and gets away with it. So Shy picks up that kill. Bottom lane, Ambition is absolutely forced right back. Prey's getting free farm down there. They're continuing on towards the turret, though, in the top lane. Watch dives on, Twisted advance on towards him, and Shy gets the kill. Helios comes in. He's going to get the trade, though, and that's going to be a blow, but Helios picked up the double buff from that kill. So Helios right back in the game, lost his blue buff early, gets a blue buff back from that. Now, richest person in the game, I'd have to say, 1,900 gold. Next closest is Prey with 1,800 in the bottom lane. We got to look in middle here. What's actually happening with his Tristana lane? 37 to 19, so that mid lane is really paying off for Azubu. Zyra not the best support for Rise, and they are trying to shut down Song. They are shutting down Song, but the ADs are actually pretty even. When you look across the board, despite the fact all this crazy action going on, the CS is dead even across the board still. Nobody's gaining a crazy early advantage other than the kills they've picked up, which is given the 1k gold advantage to Azubu Blaze so far. Where is Captain Jack and Lustboy going? They're going to the bottom lane. The ping on Prey. Prey has to be backing off right now, or he is a dead little cog more. Jurassic Cog is in trouble. Here he goes. He's stepping away. Captain Jack comes on. Captain Jack is just going to pounce on his head. Rocky Jump flashes away from it. Is it going to be enough? The exhaust goes down. Prey's maybe going to walk away from this one. No, the stun card comes out. He just cleansed, and they do get the kill. Can their passive take down Lustboy? Lustboy flashes out of it, and he avoids the damage. Wow, the trades back and forth, chat. 6 minutes gone. We've had 6 kills.
So much action early, and I gotta say, Azubu looking strong. Already 1,700 gold advantage. Finally getting a kill down onto Prey. That would be the fear that Prey would get going too hard. Again, they have Shy with the ganks and the good counter ganks, getting a bit of a lead on McNoon. We'll see if he can punish that like he has been previously in this series. And even mid lane, they're shutting down Song. So everyone, even though it's close, and even though there's been a lot of action, on Azubu has the slight edge.
They do have that slight edge. So returning to lane, you can see Maokai in the form of Watch has gone for the boots of mobility early on now. So expect to see some ganks, but honestly, he's just having to play defensive duty here because Azubu Blaze have been the aggressor so far.
He is on defensive duty, but he has rushed the boots of mobility, which means he can make it to many lanes quite well. He's going to be needing to counter gank. Helios, though, level 6. Double buffs. McNoon only level 4. They could double turret dive him here. Even Ambition is level 6. If they want to kill McNoon, they will kill McNoon, and it's a matter of where they decide to put this gank. It looks like it's coming top.
Everybody wants to kill McNoon. it's a highlight, really, if you can get it. And, well, we've said it before, diving on Jax is a dangerous, dangerous game.
But his counter-strike's down for 16 seconds now. He won't be able to dodge if they go soon.
Azubu Blaze are building up to this one. I was about to say, you know, the support of Kane had stayed in that mid lane for a long period of time. Now they've finally gone down that bottom. It's going to be AD and support both on the bottom lane. Watch. Helios is going to dive. Holly assists the 3-man dive in there. It's going to be, how do you dive of Jax? Well, you 3-man dive, but is it enough? The Felix goes off. He's going to get away with this one. Can he turn away? No. Helios gets taken down. Watch is now in trouble, but they back off. So Ambition came up just in the right time. But I tell you what, he still nearly got away with it.
Barely escaping it. It's that diving of Jax so difficult. If he had the level 6, he could have popped his ult and survived that, but they dove just at the right moment. Song tried to make it up. They could smell it, but they couldn't react to it properly, and now they're going to lose the blue buff as well.
They're stealing the blue. Shy is actually farming between the turrets now, which is causing Watch to stay at the turret. They're going to farm up blue. Are they going to come back and deal with Watch? They might do. You can see, yeah, Helios is coming in there. Shy realizes Shy's going to clear out that wave. Jax is on his way back. Yeah, they're going to have to back away. They can't do it.
They realized that McNoon was back alive. They would not want to feed those kills straight back to him. With all that action going up top, though, let's see how Kane and Prey are doing down in the bottom lane. Got to say, Captain Jack doing a pretty good job with the farming. He's got a bit of a peak here when he has his ultimate up. That is a very large amount of burst damage that Captain Jack could put down. But as we approach the mid game here, it's going to be stronger and stronger for Prey. The rest of the team will have to carry them through, which they're doing a heck of a job so far. Just how strong Helios and Shy are right now.
So, Jap, we're 9 minutes in. We normally do this early on. But how's about you take us through the mid lane? Because Song versus Ambition, this time it's going to be Twisted Fate Rise.
This is going to be an advantage lane. Well, it's a very strange lane, actually. Song out-duels Ambition, but Ambition out-pushes Rise. So it's going to be about Ambition shoving, especially if he can get a blue buff on his side, and he'll be able to just shove Song out of lane and stop him from roaming. But if he doesn't get a blue buff, then Song can keep him pushed up, and Rise would be a much stronger dueler. So it really relies on the jungler's support and how much mana flow they have, who wins that lane.
So Shy just puts the ward down on Watch there. Twisted Advance comes out, but he thinks he's close enough to the turret to be able to walk away from this one. And they are unable to do really any testing damage. Blue buff is being given across to Ambition. They did manage to steal away the blue buff, remember. So that is not going to be for Song to have just yet.
So with the 2-man mid lane, they actually didn't make this matchup any better for TF, but oh man, Watch coming around, getting the blue buff, maybe out of Ambition.
They're diving on towards Ambition. Ambition will get dropped down here. He manages to turn the damage. Helios trying to put a bit of damage back on towards Watch here. He should be able to avoid the damage here. Did pick up the blue buff, remember, up there. He's going to continue diving. Oh, he uses his ultimate, dives on towards it. He picks up the double kill. Oh my God, Helios, you are a legend in that mid.
5-1 on Nocturne, another fresh double buff. He is a monster. Everyone will die when he uses his ultimate on them at this point. And what a brilliant double kill, really baiting Song to wait around, and another great counter gank. He's got to be the highest level in the game right now. Yes, level 9. Look at the gold maybe too. 4,300, 1,000 ahead of the entire other team. Carry Nocturne coming in right now. Helios putting on a show.
Helios stealing that Nocturne away from Watch and showing him how you use it. It is working out very well from there. Going to come around. They're going to steal away the red buff. He's got all of the buffs right now. He's technically double blue because he just took the blue back away from them. And there is the red going down. He just walks away. And Watch, honestly, I would not walk back. I wouldn't continue chasing Helios right now. He is so strong.
And 9 through 11 is really when he hits a huge peak. Getting those 5 points into his Q, that's adding a trail of 55 attack damage just onto him right now. So total monster taking on the dragon right now. They might try to harass us. Helios' ultimate is down. Ambition is alive. They might try to get here, but look how fast they kill that dragon. Another advantage picked up for Azubu Blaze.
And of course, Helios just strolling on around it. Where's he going? Ambition going down the bottom there. He's dived on towards it. Lust by Kane. Sorry, Kane gets dropped.
Whoa.
Captain Jack picks that one up. Absolutely decimated there. And they're going to continue dominance here. Could Azubu Blaze take it 2-0 in this second best of 3? Najin Sword are going to feel the pressure here.
This is the biggest lead they have, and Nocturne is a pretty snowbally champion. The whole thing they need to be able to do is dive onto Prey, and Helios is strong enough to do it now. Captain Jack fighting Prey.
Trading blows, but it's onto the turret, and Prey is just keeping him away there. And where is Helios going? Helios is coming south. Be careful, Prey. Be very, very afraid, because he's coming down. He's going to have his paranoia available in a moment. There's the ping on towards Prey, and they're just forcing him away. The turret's getting poked down. Helios is going to join that bottom turret. They're going to get onto it. Meanwhile, that fight's happening on top there. You can see it's the trade back and forward. Watch gets shy down. They're continuing. They take the bottom turret down as well. This is just back and forth action.
And back and forth action that's generally favoring Azubu. That's 2 turrets to 0 now. They did trade the kills in the top lane, but that's not the worst thing. It's just going to increase their ability to dive through Najin. It is so hard to dive on Desire, but you get through all of that if you're Nocturne, who can just crush through. He is going a little bit tanky here, so he'll have to rely on his advantage right here if he wants to get through it. Heart of Gold picked up as well, trying to make that advantage carry through to the end. But Prey's really not even close to a point right now where he can survive a Helios gank, and he's got his ultimate back up again. He might wait till level 11 because Nocturne's cooldown really scales quite well with level. TF ult up again though. Captain Jack ult up again as well. Ambition's TF ult is up soon. Really, everywhere Helios goes, they're going to create, and with all the wards they have on the map, that gank's probably going to come pretty soon.
And this is a huge gold advantage. They're already building 7k gold, 2 turrets down. They are just decimating Najin Sword right now. Top turret's already very low as well. They're going to have to be careful. They're going to try and fight for the blue buff here. You can see them poking around. Is Helios thinking of diving for this one? No. He realizes he's on a ward. He's not able to get close enough. He haven't got any vision on it. So they just step away. Actually, Helios getting caught out here. The rest of the team are close enough. He has to flash away. Zyra ultimate went down, but Helios avoids the damage. The rest of the team were collapsing on it, but Shy is back down for bottom, and he's free farming again, and building up a huge lead. They're poking well. Are they going to go for a fight? They're just forced away, and Helios, he wants
it's a 5v4 if they do, but they might get a quick start.
Captain Jack on towards Kane, and that's Helios diving in. McNoon jumps in, he gets caught out though. McNoon's going to get dropped. Crescendo goes across. Whoa, decimation across the field. Helios dives, continues through. Captain Jack on watch with an Oracle, desperately trying to keep it. Meanwhile, at the top there, you can see Song continue to chase on Lustboy. Forced them away. It was a 2-for-1 exchange. It was Ambition that got dropped very quickly. McNoon and Kane for Najin Sword. The gold advantage continues to grow here, Jack.
Ambition really just getting crushed there, but the fact they won the 5v4, 2 kills to 1, speaks very well for how strong they are. 8,000 gold advantage, almost 50% more, and that was without their free farming Shy getting into that fight. Really, it's going to be Najin Sword having to just put on the stall tactics right now. It's very hard to stall against Azubu, though, because they are the masters of fast push.
Bottom lane, Shy is absolutely camping here. If this was Counter-Strike, he'd be having rage right now, but he's going to go for Prey. He's got Lustboy coming around the side. There he is. Catches on it. He's just above. He's got Kane just above, and he does manage to avoid the damage. And Shy comes in. He's got a 4-man. Yeah, they saw Song. Song walked across that ward. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Captain Jack on McNoon. Captain Jack has to rocket jump away to avoid McNoon's damage. McNoon trying to cause himself a problem. He's 0-4-1, but he's still very strong.
And Captain Jack, 4-0-0, actually picking up a lot of kills on the tail ends of these fights. This is actually the weak mid-game that he's going to be in right now, but since he's gotten the 4 kills, once he's gotten his Infinity Edge, he's kind of out of it. Really, once he gets his attack speed going, he's there again. So they've circumvented that weak spot of Tristan, and he's in Glory Town now, so he's pretty good to go. Ultimate up for him as well. Going to be able to knock back anyone who wants to dive onto him. Azubu really in the driver's seat here.
This game is pretty crazy right now. It's another unique match. We've seen some pretty slow fights. They're going to dive on towards Helios maybe on the top here. They spotted him. Yeah, they spotted him. He pinged it straight away, backed away because the rest of the team are closing in. Shy is looking towards Praying Cane in the bottom lane. They're going to drive in towards the middle turret. Ambition and Lustboy in there. You're going to have Shy stealing away the red as well. The rest of the team closing in. Helios is just tracking McNoon's movement. He's going to clear out that ward just before it runs out. Picks up the free gold. And everybody backs away. Jap, this is dangerous territory for Najin Sword right now because Azubu Blaze are smelling blood.
You can see they've lost control as well. Shy took the red buff. They're all working around. Kane is level 7 and barely gets off putting that ward into Shy. They're just pushing down this mid turret. It's going down pretty fast. Captain Jack just taking it down.
He's got that Infinity Edge already, level 11, just 16 minutes gone. And he's already starting to poke it. Shy's just off the side, split pushing. And honestly, Najin Sword are having to group. They're having to go 5-man to defend this turret, which is immediately giving them a problem because everybody else is splitting away. Ambition's going to go up top. He's going to get free farm. Shy is just farming out the bottom lane. They need to try and keep up the farm, but the gold is slipping away from them every minute of this game.
And we can see again, Shy and McNoon getting a mismatch again. Helios did so much work just feeding off of McNoon, and it's really just hurt him. There's a 3-level advantage now for Olaf over Jax, and they've just punished that matchup. There was just the one game where McNoon got going. Everything else has been Azubu supporting Shy and allowing him to get those early snowball advantages in a lane that can be so swingy when executed properly. They're trying to fight down in the bottom, but McNoon just has no way of dealing with this. And it's 10, creeping up on a 10,000 gold advantage. Another dragon getting taken for Azubu. The oracles that got picked up early by Helios is just increasing their map control. And this is huge trouble for Najin. They really, really have to stall. It's just so difficult with how well Azubu Blaze is at pressing.
DFG picked up by Ambition. Top turret goes down as well as that dragon being picked up. Extends that gold, like you say. It's 11k now. Just 18 minutes gone in that gold. That is over 50% of Najin Sword's entire gold. That is a huge lead, and the stat, you know, the stat that reads about 30% gold is big. Meanwhile, mid-turret, they're diving in. It's going to be the Zyra ultimate. Captain Jack's caught out. Captain Jack goes down. Helios also getting caught out as well. Is it going to be enough to flash away? Crescendo from Lustboy stops Najin Sword in their tracks.
That was support Zyra going in.
Shy is on top of him, and McNuno forces him away. And they could not go in. Support Zyra, like you said, he's the one that managed to catch them there.
That's what they need more and more of. That was a perfect catch by Kane. Getting down Captain Jack, really huge. He has to do a better job of getting out of there. Strange, he brought heal instead of cleanse. Oftentimes, you really want to be able to cleanse out of those spells that, you know, you get hit with once and you'll die on. There's 2 of those on Najin's Sword. It's the Rune Prison from Rise and the E root from Zyra. He got caught by one of them there. They just crushed him down. So, good team fight victory. They were able to come away with there. I mean, obviously, it was just 1 kill. It's the kind of stall they need to keep doing because they're still really far behind.
Jack, we saw Azubu Blaze try and stall out the game. It didn't quite work out. They got very, very close to it. Are Najin Sword in that position where they're going to be able to do it? They may try and catch on towards Ambition in the mid lane. They're going to try and turn this into an advantage in the mid lane. Have they got enough to stall it out? They're 11k gold behind already. Azubu Blaze are making mistakes here.
If Najin's Sword keeps catching Azubu out of position, then yes, they can. But if Azubu actually groups up 5v5 and stops their lanes from pushing, then they will destroy them in team fights. It's really a matter of just not letting their turrets getting pushed and to avoid getting picked off like they are right here. Really, it's just lapses in judgment. They have such a huge lead, and I'm sure the fatigue is coming in right now. They've been playing straight. I mean, they came from the losers bracket. This is an entire day of League of Legends. They've been playing in that soundproof booth. They're bound to have some lapses. They just need to get back together. Ambition now alive. Just got to stay grouped. Just got to close this out.
And Najin Sword have no idea about the dragon timer right now. They went across, they pinged that dragon pit, they threw the sapling in, they're expecting it. It's not up for another 3 or 4 minutes, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yet they have no idea when it went down. So that's going to be a problem for them. Azubu Blaze have that map control, that map dominance. But they do keep split pushing, split farming, trying to keep that advantage going. Captain Jack should take the turret down in the mid lane here, but you do see, once again, watch lingering off at the side. They want to try and catch them out. Shy is off split farming. Shy is building up a huge lead once again over McNoon in that bottom lane. It's nearly, well, it's 80 CS already.
And they're really going to do everything they can. This dive train of Shy and Helios is going to be really powerful just because of how fed they're going to be. Even diving through Zyra, how difficult that is, they might be able to come out ahead of that one. And they are actually just kind of taking their time on this. It's another one of these. Najin's sword is pretty good at keeping the kill score close, but the game is actually far back. And here's another fight mid.
This boy's going to get taken down. He put the crescendo across. Is he going to be enough? The Zyra ultimate comes out as well. It doesn't knock them away. They keep getting those sneaky kills.
And Azubu really just putting so much pressure around the map, but forgetting about the action at hand, and that's really just winning a team fight and not getting picked off. With that though, 11,000 gold advantage, you're getting the picks, but you're still getting out farmed. Their jungle is still getting destroyed. Their jungle is essentially Azubu's jungle, and those 1 kill every 2 minutes actually isn't granting them much.
It's not giving them a great deal. Looking across the board, the items, the builds, Helios going through with that Oracle. Like you say, it is their jungle. They clear it out. They're going around, they're picking up the wards, they're taking away the red buff once again. They're going to try and double team on Shy down the bottom here. McNoon and Watch trying to keep him at bay, but they dare not go into that jungle. You see the sapling, he comes across, Shy comes across, Helios picks the red buff down. They're going to go back towards the mid turret. They should be able to take it down this time. Captain Jack bursted down a little bit. It's going to be one diving in, Helios coming around. They're going to dive it towards the mid turret. Helios catching on to Watch. Watch, the turret's still not down. Helios might get dropped here. McNoon jumps on Helios. The Oracle's going to get burned. Can he finish him off? No, Helios just walks away. He does go down. It's Cogmore that picks up the kill, but they do manage to try and return it. Ambition was the one that took down McNoon in that exchange. But that was a 1-for-3 exchange this time. They did get the turret as well. And finally, Azubu Blaze starting to drive home their advantage.
Kind of just waiting for them to just man up and dive, because they've seemed strong enough to do that for quite a while. If they would have taken the turret, they would have eventually just... I mean, if they would have taken the turret first, then Helios wouldn't have cost him his life. Even then, that was a very successful fight for them. They finally cracked that middle turret. And I honestly expect them just... After this bottom push, if they get away alive, which could be a danger with Song, they might look for Dragon, but here, immediate danger, Song and Prey chasing after him.
Prey's trying to catch them out there. They do have Song just collapsing in towards the top. Here's going to be Ambition using his ultimate. He's like, yeah, I'm off, see ya. Captain Jack all on your own, flashes away, and they avoid the damage. This is a close one, but honestly, Azubu Blaze have it in the bag. Can they do the throws, though? Najin's sword, they're going to ping on towards that top turret now. McNoon's going to come across to try and defend. He's got to be careful. Shy and Ambition are there.
They really just want to group up. I feel like they're strong enough at this point that they could just take a Baron force and just peel, especially when you have Nocturne. He's one of the best team members to just peel off and start fights at Baron. They're probably going to take a Dragon first. Once that comes up, it's coming up very, very shortly. They're going to have to get their items bought and sold. I mean, sorry, just bought. And then just take the game off, because their lead does continue to grow. They have the Warmogs on to Shy. They might just be waiting for those landmark items. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer on Captain Jack.
Kane getting caught out there. Helios was there. Has to flash away straight away. They weren't quite sure who was in the jungle, but it was a good pick there. And just as I mentioned, Azubu Blaze need to be careful they don't get caught out. Najin's sword doing a good job of walking straight across. They're trying to reclaim the jungle, Jack.
And they can finally get just the one. That's because Captain Jack was off getting the Dragon, so they're able to get the one blue buff for Song. That will help them in the next fight. Rise relies a huge amount on cooldown reduction to get his spell rotations off. But the thing with that is, Azubu, I do expect them to start forcing down on this. Peeling off with Twisted Fate ult and Nocturne ult is just so effective. And with this gargantuan lead they have, it's bound to be successful. They can't let Prey get up to Infinity Edge Last Whisper, because then they'd really have to start worrying. Here they go, doing the Baron. They're going to look to peel and fight if Najin's sword comes.
They're forcing the Baron out. McNoon's coming in there. There's going to be... Oh, McNoon, he's just popped in where he stood. Wham, bam, shazam. Azubu Blaze whipping through the whole of Najin's sword. But Najin's sword try and reply. Shy is just ripping them a new one. He is all over them. Song has to get across the side. Watch is completely caught out. And then Captain Jack goes leaping through. Watch is on him, but Captain Jack gets a double, gets a triple. Resets the rocket, just pounces on their faces, and they could do nothing about it. It's the ace.
That's the force they've needed for quite a while. They got the things. Wham, bam, shazam. Demon raises his hands in the air. He was successful. Now they push down into the mid lane. This looks like an inhibitor, and then they can do the Baron as long as they want because it's still up, and they can make that play again.
An homage to Warwitch, my casting hero, who started once a bang game back casting today. But Azubu plays absolutely dominating. The first inhibitor goes down. They have that one hand on the trophy. The question is, will they throw it away? It's a 16,000 gold advantage. You saw the pressure on Najin Sword's face in that break. Have they bottled it? They've looked so strong coming throughout this entire tournament.
This 5-game set really just seems to have exhausted them, and Azubu Blaze really just came together, whether it was last night, whether it was this morning, but they're a completely new team compared to the one that got 2-0'd by Najin Sword yesterday. And of the 5-game set, this is the game where they have played by far the best. This is the largest advantage we've seen from either of these two teams, and here we go. Helios still waiting for his ultimate to come up, but they are just straight up going for that Baron. Doesn't look like Najin Sword can stop this. They might try and steal, but this is a power play by Azubu. They're way ahead.
They are all over the Baron, and they do pick it up. Now Ambition's going to follow through. Everybody has to evacuate. So many times in esports history, whatever the game, we've seen it so many times happen. The team from the lower bracket, they play more games, they come through, and they are victorious in the finals. And Azubu Blaze are looking to try and take that home. They've got to be careful. I don't think they can honestly defend this turret. They're going to try and make a force of it, but if they lose out this one, Azubu Blaze are in a position they could just run through the team, run through the base, and get straight in there. It's Shy. Shy's coming around the back. The whole team has been caught out. He steps away. He puts the axes in. They're going to go to the dive. Watch, he's coming in. They may turn it in, though. They get Ambition. They get Song down. Sorry, can they turn it through? Song on towards Shy. Shy is having to back away. Shy with the Warmugs. He's just tanking the entire team, but McNoon jumps on him. He turns around. He drops McNoon. Captain Jack forces him away. Prey got the kill. And I tell you what, that was a good fight for Najin Sword. 3-2 exchange.
Shy got a little ahead of himself there. He thought he could just run in through 1v5 and crush them, but they lost that fight 3-2. And they, despite having a Baron, didn't coordinate. But wow, Captain Jack is just crushing down. They will get this turret yet.
They will get this turret. Captain Jack's shot. You talked about how weak he gets. He's now at the end game, and he gets very strong. Level 16, Baroned up, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, second BF sword, piling on through, piling on down, and just farming out everything that Najin Sword have.
So 18,000 gold advantage. I think 7 turrets to 0 is what's creating this monstrosity of an advantage. Captain Jack going to be looking to get that Bloodthirster. Going back to base, going to be so hard to kill. But really, Ambition picked up the Guardian Angel. He was the one who got bursted out early on in that fight. They got to make sure to stay alive throughout this, because despite the huge disadvantage, Najin Sword, when presented with team fights, is still doing a pretty good job at getting the pickoff. So if it hadn't been so flawlessly played by Azubu Blaze so far this game, the team comp is actually pretty strong for Najin. McNoon at 1-7 is still creating a lot of good action in these team fights. He got a very good Counter-Strike stun off early on there. Still a Baron buff on 2 members of Azubu Frost. They might continue to try to push down, maybe onto Inhibitor. And if they just coordinate a proper dive, I think they'll have this. It's just a matter of Najin is jumping on them a few times over and over and keeping themselves in this game.
They need that Inhibitor back in the mid lane. The fact that they've lost it means that Najin Sword are going to have a real trouble stalling out this game. Azubu Blaze starting to set up position. Captain Jack comes around the side. 9-1-4 currently in this game. He's now got the Black Cleaver and Infinity Edge. Those shots, oh my good lord, watch. Just takes one shot and shreds half his hit points. The third of his hit points going down. And there's the stun card on towards Prey. The wild card goes through. Prey taken down. A chunk of his health goes down as well. Captain Jack tries to get another shot on there. If Captain Jack gets let loose on Prey, he will go down in around about 3 straight shots from Captain Jack. He may even get excited and rocket jump in there. May even get me excited, I don't know.
And Captain Jack actually with a Black Cleaver, so he's going to be going for lower armor targets. No one really stacking armor that he had to get a last whisper against. There's a Zyral, here's a fight.
For it. They're diving on towards Captain Jack. Can he finish him off? Crescendo comes across. Captain Jack flashes away. Gets on towards Song. Song goes down. Double kill. Captain Jack Sparrow rip it apart. Gets the triple. Gets the quadra. Can he get the penta? Where have you gone? He wants to go, but he doesn't get it. no! Scumbag Shy steals it away, but Azubu Blaze have taken it. Finally, in the MLG 4 Championships, they come from the lower bracket, and what a fantastic performance by the men from Korea versus the men from Korea. But what an absolute superb game. Captain Jack Sparrow, there's McNoon, he picks him up.
There's the sportsmanship. But wow, that was just a impressive showing by Azubu Blaze. Every game they seemed to get stronger. The coordination got better and better. They were playing this with a sub. Shy did such a fantastic job going up against McNoon in those last fights, and the cohesion, the recovery from Azubu Blaze, losers bracket champions in a sense, coming through the marathon gauntlet and getting out on top. Great job by Azubu Blaze.
They're basically saying, look, Helios, you won it for them in that last game. And he did. He was 5-1 right just 6-7 minutes into the game.
It was an amazing showing by Nocturne. And even though he went more defensive off that, those 5-1s he turned into defense and oracles and just covered the map in control. TF and Nocturne, once they get an edge, really just take the legs out of the enemy. There was no way that Najin Sword really got back into that. They get a pick here and there, but they really couldn't finish it off.
And you know what the scariest thing is? The fact that Shy's only been playing this game for about 4 months.
No, he said 6, and that was a month ago, so whole 7 months.
Okay, so, you know, he's had the World Champions finals. You know, he did all right in that one, picked up 250,000 there. Comes into this, and you can see Freak, they're setting up with him, and wow, what a performance from these guys. They've just performed brilliantly. The fact that they came from the lower bracket, the fact that they got decimated by Najin Sword yesterday, and to come back with this performance is incredible.
And this is not really something that even we expected. That was a very impressive showing. We thought maybe CLG EU, if anyone could take through Najin Sword.
We thought it was a done deal.
Yeah, and then they just came out and surprised everyone. The quickness with which they adapted really speaks to their coaching and their teamwork, because to lose that badly one day previously really shows it's not a skill thing, it's just their tactics, their pick bans, and their knowledge allowed them to come back today, because such an impressive turnaround is just impressive. We're out of the words.
You are a wordsmith, some would say. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get our interview with the world champions. The world champions, not quite.
The champions of MLG Dallas.
Fall Championships. It's the end of the season for MLG, so technically in MLG terms, they are the world champions.